On May 15, 2014, the Federal Communications Commission voted to consider an especially heinous plan to eliminate net neutrality and make the Internet pay to play. In 102-degree heat, 36 dedicated activists, from children to senior citizens, rallied in protest at the Los Angeles FCC office. These are their stories.
My name is Harry George, and I'm a systems admin. I work with this technology every day that controls the backbone of the internet. The excuse that the cable companies give about why they need to put these fast lanes in for the internet is complete bull. The truth is, the technology exists. It's already in place, and it's already being used. The only reason that we are paying more than the rest of the world for internet is because of corporate greed.
The internet is for the commons, it's for everyone, and now we're deciding that corporations are going to be able to go out and decide what websites you can go to, which ones are going to load fast, which ones aren't. The internet is for everybody, not for big corporations and not for people that have the money to spend to make websites faster, and the people that don't have the money are not. You're not going to be able to see that content.
And I was one of the people who grew up with the internet. When I was 10, the internet became really popular. That's when we started getting high-speed internet and everything started working quickly. Instead of having to wait 25 minutes for a page to load, it would take a minute or less, or actually way less than that. So the internet for me is like a public commerce where I could meet a bunch of people that you'd never meet in real life, and you could talk about these ridiculous topics. And now they're also doing things like taking up small businesses that make movies. So YouTube has been a really huge platform for small businesses to make movies. Now they use like Kickstarter, and they use a bunch of other funds like Indiegogo to make those movies. But now they're not going to be able to do that if their data gets tiered, and then they can't post the videos on their website to get viewers.
There's a reason the front steps of the Federal Communications Commission's office was occupied in Washington all week, and 20 cities across the U.S. have joined forces. It's because we all know that the disastrous vote this morning is a profound attack on freedom of speech and puts the public and the public commons at risk across the entire political spectrum.
I'm going back to like 2001, 2002, dial-up we're talking about. And like I'd go to these websites and you'd have to be like a general, and you'd have to strategically place your time and efforts towards clicking on the right links, because you're gonna wait 3 minutes tops with a dial-up connection just to load the next page. At least it was for me. And it's like now we've come to a place where that's not an issue. You know, we have faster internet all around the world, and it's like we're evolving. This isn't evolving. This is de-evolving. You know, I don't want to go back to dial-up. They'll call it whatever they want, broadband, but it's dial-up for everyone else like us.
When my grandmother got an education back in the late 1800s, she got an 8th grade education. That was considered good. My parents got a high school education. I was able to go to college. One of the things I see so important in the internet is that it allows all of us to reach out and educate each other. It's about all of us and knowing all of the families in the world. It needs to be open and free.
The blog where I draw webcomics. If big companies took too much bandwidth, my blog would load a lot slower if it loaded at all. I'm 11 years old, Chairman Wheeler. My parents can't afford the ransom money it would take to keep my blog viewable. Also, I'm a gamer. The best gaming companies make the best games. I don't want a gaming world with game companies paying internet providers to let them hog online space instead of creating great games.
After college, I discovered public access TV. That was an FCC requirement back in the day when all cable systems had to provide 5 minutes of free airtime to a member of the community. For me, public access was the most exciting thing to happen to free speech since the First Amendment. But with the internet, anyone with a smartphone can make their own videos and post them on YouTube or Facebook. And because of net neutrality, anyone can start a blog and have it load at the same speed as the New York Times. My son started a blog when he was 15 years old about baseball, and now he's a musician publishing his music on YouTube, Bandcamp, and SoundCloud. Are we going to let them take channels that all look alike? No!
The next 4 months is the last chance we have to ensure the commons of public discourse, to protect ourselves from corporates controlling free speech. Time Warner, Comcast, Verizon, these are the gatekeepers who are looking to trade your freedom of speech for their profits, and right now they have the FCC in their pocket. Please call the FCC today. Call your senators and congressmen and women. Call the White House. Tell your family and friends to reach out. Tell your representatives that the internet does not belong to the broadband companies. It belongs to the people who paid for it. That's us.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's next?